I got news for you, Mr. Brown. You haven't heard the last of me. You may think I'm shit now, but someday you're gonna be sorry that you cut me. I'm gonna catch on somewhere else, and every time that I pitch against you, I'm gonna stick it up your fucking ass!
Good morning. It's the first of the month. We're in the 11th month of this 2021 year. It's your man, Mr. Whodidit, Mr. Metaphor, the clutch in the corner, the savage in the slot, the monster on the mound. I hope all is well. I apologize if I sound a little groggy. My allergies are going up and down. Please bear with me as we divil and dabble into this classic series, the Scouting Report. Before I begin, I just want to say all praises to the Most High. I, as in all of you, have been probably facing challenges left and right, especially you thinking men and women. Doesn't matter who you are, what demographic you are under, what nationality, or what land you are on, you are going to face some adversity. And with that, let's get into it. The title of this scouting report is Eventually, They'll Destroy Themselves from Within. Eventually, they will destroy themselves from within. This is more of a high school, probably even a college halftime motivational speech I'm about to give. But you can apply it to the workforce, the break room at the workplace, some of you young folks who might still be in college at the quad, as you're walking, giving your life to the Most High. Preferably, I only recommend that's the only solution nowadays. Some of you folks that might be working in a laboratory, some of you folks that put your hard hat on and you have your lunch box. You might do construction, so you got your earbuds in. Some of you all who are working with children, like myself. Eventually, they will destroy themselves from within. Let's talk about that as a people. Now, in sports, there have come times in life, preferably the team sports, a dysfunctional little league or pony league or legion ball as we call it here in Pennsylvania, baseball. You'll have a dysfunctional baseball team. A team full of just superstar studded athletes hitting home runs, turning to star-studded pitchers, great outfielders. When they're on, they're on. But eventually, when that adversity comes, they'll start cussing with each other. You'll start hearing them getting warnings from the umpire. They'll start blaming people. They'll start hollering at their dysfunctional parents in the audience, or pardon me, in the crowd or in the bleachers, shall I say. And, when you have a great coached team, that's when we go for the kill. In football, you will have a team full of great receivers, but the moment you hit them in the mouth and you just keep sticking to the plan that a good coach, notice I said good coach, or a great coach draws up the plan to just continue to do what we taught you to do all week. It don't have to be fancy, it don't have to be trick plays. Sometimes it's just the simple things, the little things. Blocking, tackling, catch the ball when it comes to you. Let's eat up the clock. Don't talk back to them. Hit them when you hit them hard. You know what I mean? Even play nice. That's not my recommendation. I never was the guy helping you up if you have a different color jersey on. After the game, how's your family? It was good playing against you, depending on who it is, blah, blah, blah. But during the game, nah, man, nah. I didn't even want to shake people's hands at coin toss. I thought that was really lavender. Code word. But as things progress, they will implode. Eventually, they will give up because their dysfunction can't go on like that. And one of the things that negative people get along with and understand is other negative people. But the irony of negative people getting along with negative people, I know in math that equals a positive. Well, it also does in the real world, because it's a positive for me and you. And if you have to ask who's us and we, or who's us and them, then you're probably with them because you never understood that I was talking to you collectively as us. No need to play word gymnastics. Let's go on to the next sport. Eventually, they're going to give up. They'll implode somehow. Basketball. I love watching a great team when it's at its best, like an oiled machine, like an orchestra. You have a point guard who gets it to the two guard or the three at the wing. They pass it down to the four. Everybody touches the ball collectively. The amount of touches, run it maybe like the triangle offense or some of them early Duke days, which again, I hate Duke. The Princeton offense, the late Don Mr. Cheney from Temple, those type of organizations and programs. Bobby Knight, even though I never really care for his coaching style, respect the team. Eventually, they're not going to do the dumb stuff that other teams are going to do because they have a lead man or lead woman that's leading them to the promised land. And even when they lose, you're really going to have to just outplay them because they're not going to kill themselves. They're not going to make mistakes like that, like you would if you're under a dysfunctional team. I hate to call this guy out. I call him blameless, but this is a different series, so I have to break it down metaphorically. And I take joy in that because I can't stand him. LeBron James, athletically, oh man, the Most High has given him an abundance of talent and riches. Fast, runs about a 40 whatever, runs about a 4 whatever in the 40-yard dash, probably somewhat strong, jumps out the gym. Individually, he might be the most overachieving high school player to ever come to the NBA. There's a couple guys that I will put in the rim with him, that being Moses Malone. Obviously, Kobe Bryant came along at his later years. But the point I'm trying to get at is, forget all that. Yeah, he's all that individually, but he's so good. He's so much of a wonderkind. He's so blessed that he's almost insane because he doesn't let other people eat. So if you notice, though he has, quote unquote, if you call it 4 championships, let's be real. There's a lot of foolishness that comes with this guy winning. He doesn't play winning style basketball. So a great team, not necessarily, they don't even have to be more athletic than him. Because let's be real. Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love, 3-on-3 are better than Draymond, Clay, and Steph. I'm just talking on a physical level. Kyrie, LeBron is so much stronger, blah, 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 blah. But he can't help himself because he has to be the center of attention. So a great team that's led by, a great coach such as Greg Popovich. Don't necessarily care for, the woke crap, but he's a great coach. Steve Kerr, who is under the Popovich tree. To a certain degree, we may even see that this year where he can't help himself. You have to touch the ball so much that you won't allow the team to flourish because you're a maniac. Egotistical, narcissistic maniac. So with that being said, man, that's all sports related. Metaphorically speaking, how do we deal with our opposition here in the real world? Nothing against the sports world, but we are talking the real world now. When it comes to dealing with the opposition and it comes to dealing with people who are hard to deal with, people who are degenerates, dysfunctional, again, megalomaniacs, man. We talking some real dysfunctional, just God not fearing people. Almost like the Nephilim, almost like the fallen angels that we're dealing with. Eventually, my brothers, my sisters, they will destroy themselves from within. You don't even have to do nothing. Now, I recommend you stay away. Best way to win a fight, don't be there. Best way to avoid the fight, don't be there. I'm not saying with the fight or flight mentality, because who did it had to learn that, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go back and forth with people. I love challenging, especially like in the words of Charlie Murphy, excuse my language, I fight big niggas too. So it was never like a size thing or like all of that's cornball stuff. Like I like that type of stuff, especially when you try to come off as more intimidating or more macho. That was always, no homo, a turn on for a brother like me. Oh, you think you big and bad, huh? Okay. Well, I don't know how you feel with this 10-pound plate upside your head. Like, I never was the fair guy. I was Bob Backlund. I was Roddy Piper. I was all them dudes. But now I'm a man. I'm in the real world, and this is still the real world. If it got to go there, it got to go there. But we're not talking about violence, people. You can't beat them with violence. This is a spiritual world, a spiritual world, and a spiritual war. I apologize for being tongue-tied. That ain't nothing but the enemy trying to get at me this morning. And understand that. You can have all the muscles. You could be in the greatest condition. You can have the best trainers, the best nutritionists. You can have all of the specialists and all of the mental health guys help you out, therapists, people like myself who might be considered a counselor at times, family therapists. All that sounds good. That's paperwork, homie. We talking about not even the flesh. We talking about what's under it. We talking about the soul, the spirit. No time to keep going back and forth with these people. Sometimes you just gotta watch them fizz, start to smoke, start to bubble up, because they're getting pissed off with one another. And then when you see them get together, they may look like they rejoicing and having a good time. You know what I mean? Almost like, hand to hand, holding hands and parlaying in the middle of the street. But eventually that negativity, that homoerotic mentality, that atheism, that anti-God mentality that we seeing in 2021 headed into 22, baby, just keep watching. They're gonna fizz out eventually. From within, they gonna start to argue. God forgive me for saying this. You will see suicide continue to rise. And that some of the suicidal success stories or suicidal completion stories, God forgive me for saying that, some of that is the most hard conversations I've ever had to have with people. But the only way to avoid it is, number one, we're not here to tease, we're not here to make fun of, we're not here to rejoice in suicide. But I can't lie. If you think the solution is do what you want, if you think the solution is the doctor who did it, Aunt Susie, if she ain't saying thus saith the Lord, if she ain't bringing to you that real fire, that real heat, that real spiritual cleansing and covering, like the old folks used to tell us, not all, because we know there's a lot of old fools, then she ain't talking nothing, or he ain't talking nothing. He just want to gloat like a man. All these scouting reports, I hope y'all understand, are not drawn up for the other team. These are to make sure and ensure that we win. And even when it seems like we lost, we can get hit hard. Eventually, we gonna stick to the game plan. The little things, make it simple. Because eventually, that enemy is gonna destroy themselves from within. This is your man who did it. Who did it this time. I just want to say welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the new family. I apologize for being long-winded. I hope that this can help someone and let it apply to their daily lives. Be strong, be well, and be aware. And I'm out. Peace.